Welcome to the Link edition this week. This is a place for opportunities, and we share information that you can use in your business and making money. So make it a point. We always cherish the fact that you come and join us while we're furnishing with information. And this evening we're talking about opportunities in South Africa. And we have the right person in the studio to address this issue. Mr. Stephen Asimu has been here before, by the way, so he's coming back. Whenever you see him here, there are things coming. He's the CEO for Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, PSFU. Mr. Asimu, welcome.
Thank you, Sam, and greetings to the viewers.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm happy to have you back again.
Oh, thank you. Always a pleasure to interact with the audience out there. Yes.
Recently, you were part of a forum, business forum in South Africa. We know South Africa to be a source of FDI, foreign direct investment for Uganda. That's how we know them. So now that you went there, what has changed in terms of opportunities?
First of all, the Private Sector Foundation, which I represent, was the secretariat of this fantastic initiative. Yeah. We were approached by a group of business people from South Africa who felt that since our president was going to South Africa, it was an opportune time to co-join like twins, so that you have the political but also have an opportunity for business. And in Africa, the big men talk. And when they talk, a lot of things happen. So, long story short, the business summit was organized alongside the summit that the two presidents had. His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni and His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa. Ostensibly to address a couple of issues. Number one, Uganda had a very, very big and pivotal role in South Africa's independence to get rid of apartheid. Our president specifically and our army had been very involved in the background, but we never really harvested any fruit from that input. Secondly, South Africa is the largest FDI in Uganda. So the likes of MTN, Stanbic Bank, ABSA, Sanlam, South African Breweries, which owns Nile Breweries, etc. And a host of many, many other companies, smaller, which are in the billions of dollars, if you like, in terms of investments. So, number three, South Africa exports to Uganda in excess of $150 million a year. The reverse is terrible. We export anywhere between $9 and $15 million, which is really, clearly almost 10, 15 times. So it was an unfair balance of trade. Uganda ranks as number 2 from East Africa and 15th on the continent. So it was very necessary that we really bridge that gap. The fact that we have a good relationship, but in terms of the trading, we can't. If you turn anywhere in Kampala, you see a South African product. Supermarkets like ShopRite, Game, Airtime, banks, you know, everywhere you turn, there's a South African. But when you go to South Africa, there's nothing Ugandan.
Footprint,
However, there's close to 500,000 plus Ugandans living in South Africa. Many of us went to school in South Africa. I'm an alumni of Rhodes University in Grahamstown. So we don't see that reciprocity. Recently, we opened, of course, a flight, Uganda Airlines, flights to South Africa after South African Airlines closed. We had 4 flights before the summit. After we came back, they added the 5th flight. As a result of that.
So now there are 5 flights?
There are now 5 flights, and we are hoping that by next year, God willing, we should have daily flights. 7. So then there was, of course, the sticky issue of the visa. The fact that South Africans just go online, apply, and then they are here, gives them an unfair advantage to us who have to apply and, you know, suffer. For example, I was one of the last people to get a visa, even though I was head of the secretariat to South Africa. So those were the things. But we wanted a much more cordial relationship with South Africa. A lot of Ugandans actually drive to South Africa. The trip is anywhere between 5 and 11 days, depending on how fast you are. South Africa has 8 ports, which are connected to both Mombasa and Dar es Salaam ports, which are our access to the sea.
Okay.
It takes a couple of days to get there. So there was every opportunity for us to take advantage of the cordial first relationship. But secondly, the opportunities are many. We discovered some that South Africans don't grow coffee.
Hey.
They buy coffee from Germany.
Hey.
When we took a closer interrogation of the coffee, it actually came from Uganda. So essentially we're exporting things to Europe.
Interesting.
And then they come down as European products, yet they come from here, originating
Your coffee.
for much higher price. So there were a lot of opportunities, as we shall be discussing, why we needed to go there. The good news is we went, we saw, and we conquered the market.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So you have touched the non-tariff barrier issue of visa.
Yes.
Briefly, there was this issue of by January next year, the visa issue will be sorted. What is that?
Well, that's a good question, Sam. So first of all, when you are trading with a country, when you have a business relationship, there is the ease of movement.
Absolutely.
Accessibility is very, very important. So a lot of the SADC members, so countries like Botswana, Mozambique, Namibia, Tanzania, Malawi, Eswatini, Lesotho, they don't need visas, they just walk in.
Yeah.
And if you look at their business relationship, it's actually very, very advantageous for them.
Yeah.
For us, Uganda, it's a bit of a problem. We also got to learn that a couple of months ago, the president next door, His Excellency Ruto, I think, and probably his predecessor, and a host of other business people actually went into South Africa, and they were able to get an ease of movement for especially their business people. If we are going to reduce, equal, or even surpass that trade relationship, the issue of the visa is critical. And therefore, it formed the basis of some of the strongest points. The good news is that both presidents, in principle and in the spirit of this fraternal relationship, said they would look into it.
Okay.
But much more importantly was the fact that it was the South African president, His Excellency Ramaphosa, who said they will look into it. And some don't forget that the president actually is, his daughter-in-law comes from here. So what better way than to say, look, we have our children in that place.
Even cows went the other side.
Even cows went. As a matter of fact, on the weekend they auctioned our Ankole cows. And they fetched 6 figures in dollars. So there are very many opportunities. The other bit, of course, Sam, is the fact that we are pushing for much more closer business and travel, the ease of travel in tourism. Uganda, by any estimates, is the best country to visit for tourism purposes. Good sunshine, people, food, wildlife, nature, history, culture, heritage, etc. There's no better way to ensure that we have more tourists coming from South Africa into Uganda. South Africa is the second largest country by GDP, but in terms of per capita income, especially from the expatriate and the, the higher income earning brackets, the middle class in South Africa, they are at par with Europe and America.
So they can afford to come.
They can afford to come in large numbers. South Africa has very rough winters. I went to school there. I know that when you're in, especially in the months of June to about August, it's freezing, sometimes minus below 0. So those rich people can come here. It's only 4 hours by flight, by the way. Or they can actually drive to Uganda, and there are huge opportunities, especially for tourism purposes, both in terms of visitor numbers, but also in terms of investment. We share a lot of commonality with South African
Let's explore, before the
people.
time runs out, on the opportunities. Because you have given us a very good foundation on now why it makes sense. But I'm sure Ugandans are wondering and saying, what can I take advantage of?
Yes.
Outline some of the key things that came out of there, things they can tap into.
Yes, that's a very good question, Sam. First of all, our coffee is an instant seller.
So coffee is a big deal.
Coffee is number one. South Africa has a population of 60 million. South Africa is surrounded by non-coffee growing nations like Namibia, like Botswana, parts of Mozambique, Swaziland, which is now Eswatini, Lesotho, all those countries don't grow coffee. So one, we can tap into the 60 million in South Africa directly, but also we can tap into the ecosystem of another 40 million neighbors who can be, you can use South Africa as an entry point. Yeah. 2, tea, big time.
Okay.
3, our milk in powder form. 4, our nuts, our soya, our cashew nuts, our chia seeds, G-nuts. Our matoke is big ticket item.
Really?
I mean, where you have a population of over 500,000 people, indigenous Ugandans living in South Africa.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's just it's a no-brainer. The other bit was that fact that our fruits and vegetables are big ticket items.
Okay.
Our flowers, fish, in both form, either fresh or even dried, is clearly something. The week before, we had just signed a fantastic deal with our pharmaceuticals, especially to take HIV drugs ARVs to South Africa. Our professionals, as a service, a service can be an export. We have very many doctors operating, engineers, and so there is every good ticket item that can be exported to South Africa.
Before we finish in about a minute, people have heard you and they're like, but okay, I have these things. Can I just go?
Oh, that's a good one also. I think what is important now is that you have a home to point of call, which is the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda.
Fantastic, yes.
You come, we shall guide you. We work with other agencies. We please engage with the Ministry of Trade. We have our counterpart organizer, the Presidential Advisory Committee on Export, under Mr. Rwabogo. We have Ministry of Trade, we have Foreign Affairs, we have all these partners.
So if I came to PSFU first, you might just help me deal with it.
No, we will help to navigate and to ensure that you get into South Africa clearly, and we have also gotten some business links. So come and let's have that discussion.
All right, thank you very much. I always want to continue this conversation when it's still hot, but time is never enough. Viewers, you had the opportunities, and it was deliberate to bring them last, so you remember. We began with the background, so you are assured. Now you know what to take, and now you know where to go. PSFU, go there, they will direct you. They were there, so they know. They will tell you where to go and how to take advantage of these opportunities. That was the link. Thank you for joining us tonight.